Hi, I'm Charlotte Hales and I'm Chair of the Tech UK Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee. It's the end of our first year and what a year it has been. The committee came together in January 2024 and our first commitment was to be supplier agnostic. It's a fantastic group of people representing the supplier community. 28 suppliers are represented on the committee. We decided that we needed to have some focused areas and so set out to identify what those were. 3 key strategic areas were identified in AI, procurement, and digital skills. You're going to hear from James, Adrian, and John around the progress we've made around them. We also engage with a key number of stakeholders from across policing, the Home Office, Fire and Rescue Services, Ministry of Justice, and the Crown Prosecution Service. The JSMC drinks reception in June was an opportunity for Tech UK members to meet the committee and hear from some of our key stakeholders from National Police Chiefs Council, Blue Light Commercial, National Fire Chiefs Council, and the Crown Prosecution Service. I'm going to talk to you now about some of the 2024 highlights. The Tech UK and NFCC partnership was formed, closely followed by the launch of the Fire Innovation Forum, and we've had several successful sessions. The Interoperability in Justice and Public Safety Forum was launched as an expansion of the Interoperability in Policing Working Group, which has been in place since 2018. The VOG and RASO Tech Working Group supported the VOG strategic threat risk assessment and provided feedback on potential future VOG threats in the digital space. We've engaged with Policing's DDA Coordination Committee and Police Digital Service on the Policing Digital Strategy Refresh. A virtual briefing with the Justice Digital Leadership Team served as a positive step towards a future of closer collaborative working with a series of recommendations and positive next steps identified. I'm really proud that we delivered our first end-of-year event in December, which showed how much progress we've made with our stakeholder relationships. Dan is going to talk to you more about that. Lastly, I'm really excited about 2025, and Alan is going to highlight what's to come in the future.
Hello everybody, I'm Dan Boyd. I'm Vice President at MasTech, responsible for our police and justice business, and also the Vice Chair on the Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee, working with Tech UK and other suppliers. I wanted to provide a quick update on our committee end of year conference, which we had on Monday just gone, 9th of December, where we had some fantastic attendees from stakeholders right across the justice piece, from policing, fire, through to MOJ. We had representatives from the Home Office, we had representatives from Humberside Police, we had representatives from the Leicestershire Fire and Rescue Service, and also a couple of representatives from the Ministry of Justice. Really fantastic. We had a number of fireside chats, we had presentations. I was lucky enough to chair the fireside chat around AI. And the piece I really took away was the excitement about the potential of using AI in this market. So the opportunity to increase efficiency, the opportunity to increase productivity of police officers, which is hugely important at the moment. Can we get the right data at the right time in their hands to help their decision making? But I think all of that, clearly we have to understand the ethics around the use of these tools, ensuring that there's no bias in the data that goes in. So a lot of work to be done, but a really exciting opportunity.
Hi everyone, so I'm Adrian Leer. I'm the Managing Director of Triad Group PLC, and I'm also the Chair of the Procurement Subgroup, which is part of the Justice and Emergency Management Committee, Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee within Tech UK. And as a group focused around procurement, last year we developed 3 quite broad objectives for ourselves, hopefully on a mission to drive better outcomes for our clients and for our fellow suppliers and of course the buyers. So those 3 objectives were, first of all, to try and drive more engagement with the buying community, and by the community we were meaning organisations such as Blue Light Commercial, the National Fire Chiefs Council, MPCC and PDS, and we also wanted to do more work engaging with the Ministry of Justice, because clearly it's not just about policing and blue light, it's also criminal justice. So that was one area to drive that engagement, and that was really to start striking up conversations and to act as a voice of industry, if you like. And another objective that we set ourselves was to try and demystify the frameworks and the pathways for organisations, supplier organisations, to do business within the justice and emergency services sector, because it is quite a complex labyrinth, if you like, of commercial networks that you need to be able to navigate to understand the way to actually doing business. So one of the things that we did in that particular area was to engage with an organisation called Tussle, who did an excellent piece of research, and that was delivered via Tech UK to all of the Tech UK membership. So importantly, not just those that are part of the Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee, but our remit is to reach out across the whole spectrum of Tech UK members and hopefully beyond that. And then the third objective that we had for ourselves was to try and promote more engagement of SMEs, as in small to medium-sized enterprises, but to do that a bit more creatively than the traditional SMEs need to partner with large primes and fit in under the wing of larger organisations. So one of the really fascinating exercises that we undertook as a group there was to pull together our experiences, because the procurement subcommittee is made up of large organisations and SMEs. Some of them are micro SMEs within that, so we have a good representation. And we developed a working paper which will be refined going into 2025, where we're really trying to understand the pain of collaboration, because there's a lot of emphasis on the benefits of collaboration, but in reality we know that there are some obstacles to overcome. So 3 quite different but interrelated objectives. It was our first year as a group, so there was an element of finding our way as well, and also recognising that everybody on the committee has a full-time job for their own company. So we made reasonable progress. We've in true agile fashion done a retrospective to understand what we think we've done well, what we could have done better, and what we need to do going forward. So in terms of next year, again, keeping it fairly broad, but the first thing we want to do is really sharpen the saw in terms of staying close to the national policing agenda as it relates to procurement. I'm guessing that most people that will be watching this right now will be acutely aware that there's a lot of movement within policing at the moment in terms of the possibility of a national centralised body of some description, and our view is that that's bound to impact upon procurement, and we want to play a positive role in helping to shape outcomes there. And we also, and hopefully it'll be allied to that, is want to put some effort behind making a reality the police industry charter that Blue Light Commercial have been the champions of, because we think that there are some significant connections with procurement on that front. So really staying close to that national policing agenda is quite exciting, but there's lots of change ahead, and we think we need to play a key influencing role there. Second area is about selective but insightful guidance, hopefully, to the supplier community on routes to market, how best to take advantage of the forthcoming Procurement Act, which comes into being in February 2025. And the reason I underline selective but insightful is because there is lots of stuff going on at the moment in that particular space. The Procurement Act itself is generating lots of activity, and what we're recognising is that we need to provide something meaningful and helpful to suppliers, and not just be another bit of background noise in that area. So we're not going to work on quantity, we're definitely going to focus on quality there. And then the third area is to really to try and turbocharge this idea of SME participation, how to get SMEs more actively involved in direct lines of engagement with the buying community, and also to do more work around the proper sort of collaboration and engagement between large organisations and SMEs, and even possibly SMEs working with other SMEs to form coalitions and consortiums and that kind of thing. So they're the three areas that we want to focus on next year. I think it's a 2-year tenure for members on the Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee generally, and what we're recognising is we want to leave a really clear legacy in year 2, so people can look back on our tenure and say, yeah, they actually delivered something for industry, for the buyers, and most importantly to improve outcomes for those client organisations, which are all about public safety and protecting the public from harm, which is what drives all of us on the group. So that's a quick summary of what the procurement team's been doing within the committee, and hopefully people found that useful. And we're all on LinkedIn, so if anybody wants to engage with us directly and give us their thoughts, we're open to suggestions. There's no monopoly on good ideas. So hopefully you found that useful and helpful.
Hi all, my name is James West. I'm the Strategic Priority Chair for Artificial Intelligence with Tech UK and the Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee. I'm also the Industry Director at MadeTech. So I think fundamentally it's been a mega busy 2024, and I want to just provide you with a little highlight of some things that we've been doing and our plans for 2025. We've been writing a white paper around demystifying artificial intelligence that will be published in the new year. We've had some awesome events with the Ministry of Justice, CPS, Home Office, police and fire organisations. And as we move into 2025, we've got a survey coming out to provide us with some feedback on the things that we're doing so well, not so well, and things that we could do to improve, where we would really value your opinions and thoughts. And we've also got some further keynote speakers planned across some good events in the early part of 2025. The other bit that I just want to kind of flag that's probably worth a little bit more of a listen is we are looking at how we provide some support for executives and directors in industry to help make some better decisions around the use of AI and how they roll that out in their organisation as we go forward. Finally from me, thank you, and I hope you enjoy our content.
Hi, I'm John Cheal. I'm the chair of the Digital Skills subgroup within the Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee. Great pleasure as we come to the end of the year for me to review what we set out to achieve over the term with regard to digital skills, how we've been getting on so far, and what we're looking to do next year. So the initiatives that we set out for ourselves at the beginning of 24, we set out 3 key initiatives. Firstly, we wanted to play a role in bringing stakeholders together in respect to the people who are managing the challenge of dealing with digital skills for best practice sharing across the stakeholder base. Secondly, we wanted to help gather together assets, information, tools and technology from across the Tech UK membership base that could help stakeholders accelerate their digital skills and deal with the challenges that they have there. And thirdly, we wanted to move something forwards in respect of prison leavers and access into the technology industry. It's an area that we all on the subgroup felt very strongly about. So if I look at what we achieved in 2024, we definitely, I think, did a really good job bringing stakeholders together. There was a real interest across justice and emergency services in the work that we're doing, recognition that this is a key challenge and a key consideration really for enabling the modernisation and productivity of the justice and emergency services moving forward. So really good engagement from the Ministry of Justice with Sarah Brooks, with the Home Office and the Fire Chiefs Council and other areas. So So we want to build on that in 25 and continue to work with the stakeholders we've started to work with, and bring in new groups as well to share best practice across the stakeholder range. The other areas, I think we need to focus on those and move forward into 25, and that will be our focus. Really, will be how can we make curate a more simple access to the breadth of skills, talent, and capabilities that the Tech UK members have for our justice and emergency services stakeholders. How can we make it easier for them to understand how we can help them? And then in terms of sort of iterations and adjustments of our mission, I think AI, how is AI going to impact the skills agenda? This is something we want to consider in 2025. And we really want to focus and spend a little bit more time thinking about that prison leaver tech opportunity problem. There are a number of really good NGOs and other organisations working in this space. But Tech UK members represent the lion's share of the technology industry in the UK, and we really want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forwards in showing how prison leavers could take a role in the technology industry. So that's what we've got coming forward for FY25. Stakeholder-wise, we're looking forward to working with the NCA on their Kite Master programme and adding them to the group of stakeholders. Lastly, I'd just like to say a big thank you to Sarah Brooks from MOJ, who I had a really great fireside chat with at our event last week at Tech UK. It was really good to hear from her and the work that she's doing, and it's clear that there's a lot of joined up thinking across government in respect of digital skills, and so I thank Sarah.
So hi there, I'm Alan Fairley. I'm one of the two vice chairs for the Justice and Emergency Services Management Committee. I think looking back on 2024, we've had a really positive first 12 months in our tenure, and you'll have heard more about that from Charlotte and Dan. But looking forward to 2025, obviously we've got our three priority areas in procurement, artificial intelligence and digital skills, and you'll have heard more about those from the chairs of each of those three sub-priority areas. But as an overall management committee, we want to continue to develop some of the important relationships that we've started in our first year. So, for example, we want to continue working with DDAT-CC and PDS on the refresh of the National Police Digital Strategy. We want to continue having engagement sessions with Jason Corbishley and his team at the PDS on the National Cyber Security Strategy. There's going to be further engagement with the Home Office on the LEDS programme. That'll be a big one for next year. We'll continue to ramp up our engagement with Blue Light Commercial to help them operationalise the Police Charter initiative that they've set up last year. We've got a session on data planned with the Fire Innovation Forum, which I think will be something like the fourth one since its formation, and there's more to come next year as well on that. There'll be more engagement sessions on the data improvement programme across both Justice and the Home Office, and also there'll be further engagement sessions with the Justice Digital Leadership team as well. So there's a lot to be excited about and a lot to look forward to from a management committee perspective over the next 12 months.